In 2023, I walked from Mexico to Canada via the legendary Pacific Crest Trail, embarking the biggest adventure I've ever had. The Pacific Crest Trail is one of the longest hiking trails in the world, starting from the border of Mexico to Canada, and it covers the state of California, Oregon, and Washington. A total distance of 2,650 miles, an elevation of 15 Mount Everest, and about 100 full distance marathon. It's about meeting new friends, trail angels. These are real angels offering us their home for us to shower, sleep, cook for us, doing our laundries, just from the kindness of their heart. Trail magic. There's really no words to describe this, it's just magic. Food appearing from out of nowhere, deep in the woods. Hitchhiking to town to get food. Carrying heavy backpacks with 5 to 10 days worth of food supply. Encountering wildlife. Spiders. Bears stealing your food while sleeping. Dangerous terrains. Sleeping on snow. Cold, hot, wet, blisters, injuries, sunsets, sunrises, a lot of walking, river crossings, strong winds, and many more, so stay tuned. Throughout my life, there has always been this unexplainable urge, this itch to live, laugh, explore, and to push our limits. It's a deep desire for adventure, to fully embrace life. Living in the city, caught up in a 9-to-5 rat race, I felt stuck and was merely going through the motions. Deep within, my soul craved for that itch, and I desperately needed a serious break from the noisy, fast-paced world. And I thought, this could be the perfect place to do some soul-searching and to challenge myself. I remember getting so pumped, excited, and anxious on my first day, meeting new people on trail, having new gears, a new backpack, a new stove, and a new tent. No. Here I am thinking it's a desert. You know, it's not supposed to rain or snow.
I was drenched with condensation and humidity, with that cold ice. It's not snowing, it's hailing. It's windy as fuck, but still beautiful.
On such a winter's day, stopped into church, I passed along the way.
The first big challenge I've had on trail was Mount Jacinto. Mount Jacinto was feared by most hikers due to packed snow, making it hard to pass these dangerous, steep terrains. Most wavered and skipped, but I'll give it a try. Luckily, I ran into Vortex, this badass hiker from New Zealand, watching her climb Jacinto like a piece of cake. Navigating terrains and reading them like a book, I felt I was in safe hands. Honestly, I had no clue what I signed up for, but all I had was pure excitement. I'd run into hikers bombarding them with questions about water sources, town informations, food carries, you name it, learning on the fly. As I kept going, I discovered the real beauty of the desert, the panoramic views, heavy winds, and beautiful rock formations.
On a winter's day, I'd be safe and warm if I was in LA. California dreaming on such a winter's day.
Beautiful towns like Julian that offers free delicious pies for hungry hikers. Idlewild, a small town from California that's being run by a golden retriever, meet Mayor Max. And all the amazing people that I met on trail. Arriving in Kennedy Meadows was a huge milestone. Everybody was celebrating and having fun, reuniting with other hikers, sharing strategies and plans about the upcoming Sierras. And I was getting worried. I felt excitement and fear at the same time. The vibe suddenly changed. A thick fear in the air surrounded us. Some hikers bail and skip, and I get it, but me, I'm here for an adventure. The Pacific Crest Trail season hasn't even started, yet it was the most spoken about. In 2023, the Sierra Nevada mountains probably had the most snow in history. While healing my injuries in Kennedy Meadows, I couldn't find a group that hikes as slow as me, so I decided to just go.
It's May 20th. We're just leaving Kennedy Meadows and we're gonna attempt to do the Sierras, baby. Yee!
As I planned to tackle Mount Whitney, I was lucky to find Dart, a hiker I've met back in the desert. He was also planning on summiting Mount Whitney. As excited as we were, we thought we could summit Whitney in a day. Not until the altitude hit us, and a storm was coming. Mount Whitney gave us a reality check. As we were about to find a safe place and camp, we stumbled upon the best campsite ever. Just heavenly.
We're literally high right now. Literally high. I think we're at 4,000 meters or 13,000 feet. Look at
As
that.
high as you can get around here.
Yeah, baby. Look at that.
The next morning, we summited Mount Whitney.
Dart!
God. Oh my God.
We are at Mount Whitney right now. This is how you do Mount Whitney like a boss. Woo! Woo! Bring your sleeping bag. Oh, what a beauty.
Terrains got tougher and tougher as I aimed towards north. Climbing Forester, I learned not to look down. And often, I find myself getting caught in storms.
This is Forester Pass, somewhere there. This is the tracks. We're at, I think, 12,500 feet. And the peak is around 13,100. So, around 500 feet of climbing. Conditions are great so far. It's pretty steep. Maybe I should, no. Yeah, it's like somebody made this. Whoever you are, man, you're a champion. It's just like climbing up a stairs. Take your time, step by step. Your ego wants to go faster, but Mother Nature says, hell no. So you gotta surrender yourself to Mother Nature. You gotta let it go, let go of your ego.
It was scary being alone in these situations. What a humbling experience.
Damn.
As I got to Bishop, California to resupply, I questioned myself, is this it? Am I done? Is my journey over? As fear was overcoming me. But nature always finds a way for those who let go and surrender. I remember howling as loud as I can, finding myself lost deep in the woods, hoping another hiker would hear.
Hell yeah!
And that's how I met Free, a badass local hiker from Bishop, California. And yeah, you know Vortex. Also, Daddy Grill from the USA, the person that always takes the first step when shit hits the fan. Shaman, this badass hiker from the Netherlands, finds his headspace when encountering dangerous terrains, and he never backs down. Primo from Mexico, at one point he was hiking with a sandal with spikes. We'll talk about that later. These three badass hikers whom I met on Mathers Pass as they were running out of food. And oh yeah, me. Trail name, Sticks and Stones, just tagging along. And together, we formed the Los Lobos. As other hikers usually start hiking at 2 a.m. for firm snow travel, we did the complete opposite. With shared vision, no rush mentality, we wake up when we want to wake up, and even taking zeros on trail. We also went as much side trips as we can, and boy, we had fun. We thought Sierra was so beautiful and full of unexpected experiences just to be rushed, and we don't want to miss out what it has to offer. It was the best drug we've ever had, Daddy Grill said, full of adrenaline, endorphins, dopamine, in full effect, and this is due to the fact that we were constantly dealing with extremely dangerous situations.
Let's go! Yeah! Wow! Ah! So, muy bien! Let's go! Woo! So we got stormed on. It was freezing rain, hail, crazy rain. We pitched our tent, and then we got flooded. Here's Primo here. Just warm up here, dude. Woo! That's my hand shaking. It's really cold.
As we faced difficulties, floods, storms, our relationships bonded and even got stronger. In 2023, we've experienced Yosemite in a different way. We walked Tioga Road, feeling we had the whole Yosemite Park with us. It was very apocalyptic. As we arrived to the valley, it felt very different back to civilization and having to see so much people. And this is due to being soaked in nature for a long time. Feeling overconfident, we thought it will get easier from here as the snow starts to vanish. But we were dead wrong. This section was actually the craziest section on the entire trail, because as the snow starts to melt, it means raging rivers. While running out of food, we had to make a decision to hike a bit faster for our next food resupply. But unexpected injury happened.
Primo's having a hard time. Injury. Sheet. Just have to wait here.
Watching Primo suffer with a lot of pain was not easy. We even thought of pressing the SOS button and wait for rescue. But this loco from Mexico isn't giving up just like that. It even raised up our spirits, witnessing him crossing freezing rivers, steep snowy terrains, and snow cups, which its entire purpose in this whole universe is to trip and hurt hikers while wearing a sandal. As terrifying as it is, the raging rivers hunts us even at sleep. Waking up with courage, we pushed ourselves one step at a time. Hiking the Sierra Mountains on a high snow year felt like we were in a different planet. It was very hard and dangerous. It tested out our body, mind, and soul. But there's a feeling that comes especially when you're so small, surrounded by giants. The Sierra Mountains were so quiet, yet so loud, intimidating, yet peaceful. Looking back, reminiscing what we just accomplished, we were overcome with emotions. As we end the Sierra section, we ask ourselves, what's next? Entering North California, I thought it would be smooth sailing from here. Boy,
So-
again, I was dead wrong.
I'm like 80% better now. I've been sick for almost 2 weeks now. Fever, high fever, shivering at night and sweating at the same time. And heat waves and mosquitoes. And last night I cowboy camped and I could not sleep. I don't know, man. The mosquitoes were 24/7. They don't sleep. They work overtime, night shift, you name it. It's just miserable right now. But anyways, I hope I can survive.
Also, to beat the heat, I went hiking during the night, soaking the calm beauty on trail and watching the Milky Way in the dark. Pushing myself one step at a time, things started to get better. Despite all the challenges, North California revealed its treasures, the beautiful lakes, mountain views,
Let's go!
the majestic Shasta, Castle Crags, waterfalls, and nightly visitors.
Hey yo! What you looking at me like that?
I think it's a deal.
Hiking North California felt liberating. I embraced the isolation and camped almost anywhere. North California had its challenges, but it gave me the most freedom and independence.
Oh man, that was long. 1694. I felt like 958 left. Hell yeah.
As I crossed the Oregon border, I quickly noticed a shift in vegetations. Everything became calm and felt like I was walking into a peaceful garden.
It was crazy. Rained for like 7 hours, I think, and soaked even with your rain gear. It's cold, it's windy, it's miserable. It's hard to make miles. And it's kind of a wake-up call because just imagine if when I get to Washington and then it rains for like, let's say 3-4 days straight, I'd be done. And a lot of people think I was like, oh, you have experience with snow now or in the Sierras. Oh no, I don't think you know what you're talking about. Pacific Northwest is a different game. It's a different ball game at all. When it rains here, it rains. The Sierras, rains, stop. You could dry, easy. Pacific Northwest, you don't dry at all. You get cold, very, very cold. So That's what I'm worried. I'll have to up my miles.
I felt unstoppable and could keep going forever. The trail in Oregon is simple. No phones, no traffic, just me in the silence. Made me realize I don't really need a lot to enjoy life.
And everything is simply a happening. And all you're doing is watching it.
As I think about my time in Oregon, it's all about peace, walking into a beautiful garden and simplicity. As I crossed the iconic Bridge of the Gods, I felt mixed emotions of excitement and sentimental. Every day felt like a time bomb. I just don't want this to end. Washington offered breathtaking landscapes in a burst of vibrant colors. It was just too beautiful.
Up on melancholy hill, there's a plastic tree. Are you here with me? Just looking out on the day of another dream, where you can't get what you want, but you can get me. So let's set out and see. 'Cause you are my medicine when you're close to me. When you're close to me. The
It was our last 30 miles. Woo! Yo, yo, yo! Look at the view. Sunshine. We're probably gonna have sunshine for half an hour.
If we're looking out on the day,
Georgia!
another dream.
As I get closer to the terminus mark, I was fortunate enough and very grateful to spend time with familiar faces that I started with on this journey.
You. Ow! Let's go! Ow, 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 ow!
The mixed feelings were a blend of achievement and fond memories of natural beauty.
Woo, touch it, let's touch
Every
it.
step in the heat, snow,
Thank you.
rain, mud, and cold
Touch it.
turned out to be worth it. Finishing the
yeah.
Pacific Crest Trail was a big checkmark on my bucket list. But what really hit me the most, by a long shot, was this.
A la verga.
A la verga. Dogfoot, whoever you are.
Mira el cabrón pa.
Cabron pa.
That's not for free.